Hello Battlefield fans, Wildchild here, and at the moment of this commentary we are a few days away from the second beta for Battlefield Hardline, and I am very excited. I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it because I didn't get to play the first beta, and now we're gonna get a better version of it. That's what it's about. It's beta. They're gonna test out things. Whatever they fix in from the first one, it's gonna be a lot better than the second one, and whatever bugs they find and in the second beta, I'm pretty sure they will be fixed when the game's released. So I think it's good news. I think we should be happy and excited about having this game, and the fact that it's coming out in March, it's great because usually there's not that many games, especially shooter games, coming out besides the holiday season. So having a cool shooter game coming out in March, it's always good. So I'm very excited about it, and I cannot wait to give it a try, see what the game is about, see if I like it. The one thing I'm sure is that I am waiting this game with an open mind. Okay, I'm not going to judge the Battlefield series because of the whole Battlefield 4 situation, launch. We all know how the game was playing and all that. So I'm not going to judge the whole Battlefield series because of that. There's new people working on the game in Battlefield Hardline. This is new everything. So, I think it's fair enough just to give them like a chance how the game plays out. I'm not going to come to conclusions, not even on my first gameplay, because most people tend to do that. They play one game, they record that game, and then they tell you, well, this is my thoughts on the game, and if they didn't like it, they're gonna trash the game and tell you horrible things about it, right? So I believe it's like safe to play a couple of games, or maybe like a couple of days even, play a bunch of games, try different things, and then you can make up your mind that, what, I really don't like this game because this, because that. But just with your first gameplay, it's just hard to judge a game by just playing it for like 10 or 15 minutes. That's not right. So what I'm gonna do is, obviously you guys will be seeing Battlefield Hardline gameplay next week, probably a lot of it, pretty cool, and I'll tell you some things after while we're done with it. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have so much fun and see what happens there, and I'm just looking forward to see what's new in the game. Okay, besides the game modes, maybe new gadgets, maybe new guns, maybe there's gotta be something new. So I'm very excited to go ahead and give it a try here, try these new game modes, which is something very tricky, something that I've been thinking about, how people are going to react to these new game modes. Because if you play shooters, first-person shooters or games, as much as I do, that people don't like to play the objective. Even in game modes like this one, domination, which is really easy to go ahead and capture one flag. So there's nothing difficult in that, and yet people don't do it. People don't do it. They say, I'm not going to capture the objective, I'm going to go for kills, and same thing goes for Conquest and Rush and all the game modes, and not only in Battlefield 4, Call of Duty is the same as well. So the thing that I've been thinking about, it's how people are going to react to these new game modes, to the maybe rescue the hostage or something like that. How people are going to work on that, because like I just mentioned, people don't play the objective, and sometimes you need maybe one or two guys in a domination game that capture the flags, and then you got all the other guys playing the Slayer or the getting all the kills, and you ended up winning games. We all done that, capture the flags, and then you're golden. Okay, but in game modes that are more like difficult, not as easy as just capture a flag, how people who don't like to play the objective are gonna play out the game, and what will be the outcome? It's just more frustration. So obviously these guys are just trying to push those new game modes, and as far as I know, we're getting Conquest and TDM besides the new game modes they're adding. So I was thinking, what happened to the Rush and Domination, and maybe it could happen what happened with Call of Duty Ghosts. Remember when the game came out and didn't have Search and Destroy but had Search and Rescue? That new game they were trying to push out, and trying to people play the game, but Twitter and all these social media and gaming sites and all that, they were just talking about, what happened to Search and Destroy, and a few weeks later they ended up adding to the playlist. So I don't know, maybe they could something like that's gonna happen with maybe Domination or Rush. At first we're not gonna have it. They're gonna try to push the cops and robbers thing and a bunch of new game modes, but depending on how people react to the game, depending on how if people play the game, because that they keep an eye on that, they're probably gonna end up adding maybe new game modes, Domination, Rush, and all that stuff in a future I don't know, patch or something like that. I don't know, I'm just guessing, just guessing. But the bottom line is that I'm very positive, open-minded with this game, ready to learn the game, because even though it's Battlefield, is that I treat every game differently, like it's something different. Okay, so I'm just ready to go ahead and give this game a try, Battlefield Hardline, in a few days, and just learn how to play the game. Just learn this new objective, how the guns works, the new gadgets, and what's good, what I don't like. The thing is, what I like, what I don't like, and so on. So I think it's gonna be very interesting, and it's gonna be something very fun to play. So once again, we'll see how people play the game. I think that's the most important thing, and I'm very glad they added TDM, because I remember in Battlefield 3 what I played the most was Rush and TDM. I just love Rush. Rush was such a cool game mode, and I had a lot of fun in Battlefield 3. But there are some days where you don't feel like playing an objective game mode. You feel like just getting kills and not having to worry about the objective. So that's when TDM comes in handy. You just go ahead on TDM and have some fun. So for Battlefield 4, what I ended up doing was playing more Domination and TDM, and it's because people didn't want to play much of the objective in Rush. I know it happens a lot, but it was a lot less compared to the Battlefield 3 experience. So I decided just to quit on Rush. And I'm also big on Conquest, don't get me wrong. I know you're probably saying, oh, you don't like Conquest? I don't like Conquest because sometimes, and most of the times, those games last too long, and I get bored. That's the truth. I get bored with a 45-minute video, for a 45-minute gameplay. Same game, trying to, I just get bored. Sometimes you get into an hour, so it was pretty boring. So that's why I don't really play Conquest. I mean, I do like the game mode, but the fact that the games last too long, it's a turn off for me. So I'm like, not really looking into a 45-minute game, right? So for me, Domination, TDM, and for me it was Rush. Rush, we had all these games where people were not really paying attention to the MCOMs, so you rush through those MCOMs, and you ended up getting maybe 10 kills in a game, but the game lasts like 5 or 7 minutes. So I love those rush games on Battlefield 3, and it was pretty fun. Sometimes it take a little longer, but for the most part you got all these quick games, and it was pretty fun. So we'll see for Hardline, all these game modes that involve vehicles and chasing. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be kind of fun. It seems fun, like everything we see in trailers and all that stuff, it just looks so cool. But when you actually play the game, it's like totally different, because you get all these people who don't play the objective, who don't want to do anything. So we'll see how that goes. Have to polish on my driving skills in Battlefield, which I haven't played this game in a while. This is an old gameplay, by the way, so I haven't played this game in a while. And so I have to polish my Battlefield skills, and I know it's gonna be a pain those first gameplays, trying to get used to it. But I think overall it's gonna be pretty fun. It's gonna be something very interesting, and I believe the key to try to have some fun, because I think people nowadays forgot to have fun. They get too either like too serious or too whiny about things. It's just being positive and open-minded. Let's see what happens. Battlefield 4 is Battlefield 4. Hardline is Hardline. It's totally different games. One is made for this guy, the other one's for these guys. So let's now bring the whole Battlefield 4 into Hardline. So let's forget about Battlefield 4 for 1 second, and let's just focus on Hardline. What they're gonna bring to the table, what's the new, what's the same, what's good, what's bad. What we like, what we don't like. So I think with that mindset, you end up having a good time, even if the game kind of sucks, because I enjoy Battlefield 4. Even with all those issues, I was posting a lot of Battlefield 4. I would just having a good time. I was just looking for good servers, and sometimes I managed to get into good ones, and it was pretty good. Despite some of the issues, I managed to get some good gameplays. I got maybe like 2 gameplays in a row, and then all of a sudden the game crashed. I was like, ah, sucks. But you know what? I got 2 good games. Everything was running nine. No, I'm sorry, running fine in those gameplays. You end up playing 9 games, and all of a sudden, all those 9 games, they were just horrible stuff going on. So I think staying positive and forgetting about what happened with Battlefield 4, it's good, and that's the way that I think. Another thing, I'm looking forward to the campaign. If you watch my videos and subscribe to my channel, I love campaigns. Campaigns are fun, entertaining, interesting, and I just love campaigns. So I'm looking forward to the Battlefield Hardline campaign. I want to see the plot, I want to see what it's like. I love Battlefield 3 campaign, and the Battlefield 4 was pretty fun as well. So looking forward to this one. See what we're gonna do over here, with the cops and robbers. So I think it's very cool, and I think it's something I'm guessing it's gonna be fun. I always end up having fun with the campaigns, even though when sometimes they're not that great. But I do end up enjoying them because I think it's fun. I like it. I like campaigns. I don't know about you, but I do like campaigns. So anyway, so this gameplay over here, obviously domination on a siege of Shanghai with my trusty SG5 553. Pretty beast gun. I like it. We had a good time. Destroy these guys. Capture the objective, run around, getting some kills. It's doing business over here. So everything is fun, everything is cool. So once again, looking forward to that. And if you like my videos, you can look forward to Battlefield Hardline next week. Like a lot of it, and gameplays will be live commentary. Some of them without live commentary, and will be, I think it'll be pretty fun. So really excited and looking forward to it. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this gameplay, this commentary. This game right here is slowly coming to an end. Pretty fun. And if you like my gameplays, go ahead and check out some of the Destiny stuff, Advanced Warfare, some of the Battlefield 4, or some of my other playthroughs with live commentary. And I will see you, my friend, on the next video. And hopefully you are on board with the whole Battlefield Hardline. So check out my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Later.